David Ogilvy said once, and I'll quote, "He knows more about direct marketing than anyone else in the world." He's the author of many books. He's world-renowned for what he does. I'd like to welcome you to Drayton Bird. Drayton, welcome.
Hi.
Drayton, if we can start with what I call the quick-fire round, sort of getting to know you a little bit.
I shall lie. Go on.
Really? Excellent. All right, so what would you say, Drayton, is one of the things that you are most proud of in your life so far?
Proud of? I'm proud of the fact that I have either entirely brought up or helped to bring up 8 children, and none of them have gone to jail yet. I think that's all right.
That's pretty damn good. I like that. That's
pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The oldest, I was in New York last week. No, the oldest one is 53, and the youngest one is 15. So I was in a bar with them,
Yeah.
having a good time. Well, she was drinking ginger ale, but we were having a good time.
We were having a good time anyway. 53. So you must have started young, Drayton.
21, yeah. But I'm so I can remember, Philip Larkin, the poet, said that the sex was discovered in the 1960s. But I was ahead of the game. Well, I discovered sex in about 1957, and I got married very, very quickly, indeed.
That's right. Where are you living now? Which
I live in Bristol now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you happen to know of any? This is to sort of test your lateral thinking ability. Can you tell us and our viewers a clean joke, sir?
A clean joke?
Yeah.
I have lots of clean jokes. Here's a story about the blind frog and the blind rabbit who were talking to each other one day, and since they were both blind, they didn't know what kind of animals they were. So they agreed to feel each other. And first of all, the frog felt the rabbit and said, "Oh, you've got nice fluffy fur and long floppy ears and a little furry tail. You must be a bunny rabbit." And the rabbit said, "Oh, I'm a bunny rabbit. Great. Let me feel you." So he felt the frog, and he sort of went, "Oh, you've got horrible slimy skin and big staring eyes and an evil grasping. Let's feel the rest of you. You've got these claws. You must be an estate agent."
Love it. You did. You knew one off the top of your head. I love it. What's the best job you've had, Drayton, apart from telling jokes?
I think the best job I had was after I sold the agency that I was running or owned to Ogilvy and Mather. I then became the worldwide creative director and vice chairman and God knows what else for the Ogilvy and Mather Direct group. And so I had this opportunity to go around the world. It so happened that because he was eccentric, David Ogilvy got on very well with me, I got on very well with him. And I really enjoyed getting to know him because he was a very interesting man. Yeah. Very, very interesting man.
Yeah, we were talking on the way up here about Felix Dennis and the fact that he's quite eccentric, but you're a massive fan of him. David Ogilvy, the same thing. What is it about eccentrics that you find?
I think that if you conform to the general, you are most unlikely either to be particularly interesting or to be particularly successful. I mean, the sort of people who climb the corporate ladder and conform tend to be dull, unimaginative. Not always, but I think that's one of the main reasons why large companies decay. Lack of individuality, lack of eccentricity. If you are slightly, off the beaten track, so to speak, in terms of personality, you're far more likely to come up with unusual ideas, and unusual ideas are the things that do the business, because the only thing that can really beat big money is new ideas, yeah. And new ideas come from people who think differently. I think so.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Because I think a lot of people try and sort of conform to what societal norm would be, whereas in actual fact, it sounds like what you're saying. So you've got to embrace your personality and all the various nuances.
Your personality. I think you only come into this world with one thing, which is yourself, and you only leave this world with one thing, which is yourself. And I think you should try and spend the intervening period trying to do as good a job on yourself as you can and not trying to be like everyone else. Because if you're like everyone else, what was the point of you existing? There was no point of you existing if you're the same as everyone else.
Yeah, it links quite nicely in with your thing about a USP, unique selling proposition.
Yeah.
Very cool. We got distracted then, but last thing on getting to know Drayton, but favourite restaurant? Just so we can get to know your cuisine.
My favourite restaurant was the one I went to yesterday. So last night I went to a restaurant called Flinty Red in Bristol, where they did a Portuguese dinner with 7 different wines, and I can stand any amount of that. It's a very good restaurant, actually. Very small, but very good.
So it's the 7 different wines that it does.